Okay, hello. Today we'll be talking to Chandrama, a writer at Aslaila. Hello, Chandrama.
Hi.
Okay, so what is it that first inspired you to get into writing?
My love towards words is something that inspired me. I don't remember how long back, but yeah, it's been quite some time. Actually, as a school kid, I had this special inclination towards my rhymes. I could arrange my rhyme very well, and I could sing it well, and I could tweak it the way I liked to, and I loved my rhymes. So I think that's when my dad realized that I am inclined towards words, and he taught me to read. I think that's a that's a blessing that I have. I started reading at a very young age, so it could be just a story or some little article in the newspaper. He used to read it out to me. So I think my dad has been a building block in what I am today, because I started I started writing at a very young age. So even in the school we had these nursery rhyme competitions where I used to participate and write, and then elocution competitions and stuff. So I loved words basically. I loved reading, and then as I grew up, I got more into it. I started reading even more. Uh, I am a published writer. I have two books published. So
That's
my first
fantastic.
Yes. My first book was published when I was in class 10th, and I had a lot of people saying that, poetry is
Yeah.
nonsense and forget it doesn't work, study science and do engineering, and there's a whole world of opportunities waiting. But I think there's something within you that keeps telling you that no, this is something what you
Yeah.
want to do, that's the way you want to go.
Yeah.
So I just pursued it. I read, I was a voracious reader. I read and I wrote and I wrote and I wrote. Yeah.
Okay, what type of attributes would you see in someone who should become a writer? Do they need to be creative? Do they need to be outgoing? What do you feel today?
They certainly need to be creative, but again, everybody defines creativity in their
Oh,
own
yes.
way. Probably, a carpenter might think he's creative, and
Yeah.
he is. I agree to that. But I think anybody who thinks out of the box, who doesn't want to follow the path that everybody is going to,
Yeah.
you usually get this feeling inside
Yeah.
that I want to do something different,
Yeah.
that I don't really want to do what everybody is doing.
Yeah.
No MBA and no engineering and no doctor. So I think whenever you get this feeling,
Yeah.
you really need to put some light on that thought and think about it.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? And I think art is not just about writing. It could be anything. Jewelry designing is an art. Your pottery is an art. So if you get into
Yeah.
pottery, it could be a beautiful business you can build out of it. So you feel that spark in you when you're growing up,
Yeah.
and you know what you like. If you like numbers, you could be a sales guy or a mathematician, you never know. But if you love words, then you should certainly
Yeah.
try the option of writing.
Okay. And as a writer, what is it that you do on a day-to-day basis from the time you get to work?
um, I write personally and professionally. I write.
Okay.
uh, Professionally, I write a lot of articles that are on my website.
Yeah.
You can just go to askvela.com and check out the website. So I write about pretty much everything, something as local as, say, 5 best restaurants in the locality where I live, up to something like the best holiday destinations across the globe. So there's a lot we write about.
Yeah.
I write scripts for voice, mobile. A lot of mobile applications are created. Then I write SMS copy. I write different scripts.
Okay.
So it's majorly writing
Yeah.
scripts for mobile and for websites. So that's professionally. Personally, I write short stories.
Yeah. Okay.
I've written a few plays that have been performed in Bombay. Then I have written a short film that is into post-production,
Oh, wow.
and poetry. So
Yeah.
those two books of poems, and I keep writing poems in Hindi, Marathi, and English.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. And if a student was in the 11th or 12th grade and he was set that he wanted to become a writer or an author, what as university courses and college courses go, what would he need to do?
Well, first, in school, if you love your languages, I think that's a hint that you need to pursue them and venture into writing. I loved Hindi and I studied a little bit of French, and I always had good marks in English.
Yeah, okay.
So your family, not these days, but yeah, your family might most of the time tell you that no, go and do your MBA or
No, no,
get
it
into.
happens today too. It's not.
It does.
Yeah,
I okay. I doubt
it
that.
hasn't died out yet.
Yeah, but my mom was after my life, and my entire friend circle had taken engineering,
Yeah.
and even my teachers thought that I could have done something else. I mean, that's surprising, but
Yeah.
yeah. But I somewhere knew that I want to be a writer.
Yeah.
So you always have this feeling that probably arts, once you go for arts instead of science, you might not land up in a well-paid job.
Exactly.
But that's not the case today. Today writers are paid very well,
Yeah.
and what better if your hobby becomes
Yeah,
your
exactly.
profession, right?
I actually remember reading somewhere that J.K. Rowling is now richer than the Queen of England. So
Absolutely, yeah. So you have your example.
anything can
there.
happen.
See, basically, if you do what you like, nothing can go wrong. And even if it does, you are capable enough to take up the responsibility and be glad about it.
Yeah.
That you've learned a lesson. So it's either a success or an experience. So that's fine. So I think how would you pursue it further if you know
Yeah.
you like writing? Take up arts. English literature is the
Yeah.
core. You might also want to consider psychology, because that's closely related, psychology, history. But literature should be your core subject.
Yeah.
Study literature in your graduation, and then your post-graduation, see what you would want to do. Like, I studied world literature in my first year of post-graduation, but then I moved to Canadian studies because I found that
Yeah.
literature to be interesting. So I think as you climb the ladder, you know what you're looking for, and your focus gets right. I have done it. I have done my masters. I still plan to study further,
Okay.
probably sometime in the future. But after that, you can do your MPhil. You can select your subject in your MPhil to again pick up something from literature, and then comes PhD. That's also something that would certainly add to your skills. Pick up something like a communicative English, or any subject that you like, and you can go
Yeah.
ahead. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. I'm sure our viewers will really enjoy this and benefit from it. Thank you.